Well, hi, our third video in this series from 2 Chronicles, it relates around chapter 10 and a guy named Rehoboam. And I've titled this video, Wrong Advisors. Man, is it easy to get wrong advisors. Look, they sound good, they seem to have good input, they seem to know a lot, or they discovered that their knowledge is actually very thin. They're just able to quote other people or talk a lot. And many of these advisors often have never done it themselves. And that's what you've got to watch out for. It's good to have people who've been there, who've done the hard yards, who've learned. And Rehoboam learned a bad lesson. I'm not even sure he learned it, because his reign as king was extremely short. Man, it's the shortest one I think that I've read about. And within a matter of a blink of an eye, he was out on his own. So what happened? Well, when he took over from his father, he sought the wise counsel of the elders, and they said, if you lighten the load, because the people have come to you and want to lighten the load that your father had on them, and if you lighten the load, they'll serve you forever. I reckon that's a pretty good promise. And he said, I'll come back to you. And he then got his young friends around, and they said, no, don't do that, they're lazy. Why don't you just tighten even further than your father did? So he decided to do that. He called the people together and the older council, and they said, well, we're going to tighten the load, not loosen the load. And the older council and all the people went away and said, we're not going to serve you. So he virtually had the whole nation in revolt. I'm not sure how you do that, but he's certainly able to do that. And that was from these young advisors who gave him this advice and knew nothing. And they just thought the power went to their head. That's what we've got to watch out for. It doesn't go to our head, or it doesn't go to those that are advising us. And he felt like within a matter of no time, he was gone. And, when you're a healthy leader, you seek wise counsel. You don't always have to agree with it, but you take it on board. And, you're going to get advice, even if it's not advice you want to hear. So the aim is that you need to be getting the advice that you don't want to hear, and you bring it into the mix and start working it through. And there are many leaders, and not that many actually seek good advice. They tend to be swept up with the popular opinion. But God blesses his people so they will be a blessed to the nation and to others. And we see that many times right through, the Old Testament. And Solomon, his father, was one of those. King Solomon, who was very wealthy. He fell at the end of his life because he got involved with the wrong people. And in chapter 9, we just see that Solomon did listen at that point, and God blessed him, and he was a blessing to the other people. And we're blessed to be a blessing. It's not all about us. So King Rehoboam did not listen to the right people. So who could the right people, what would be a bit of a checklist, if you like, of the right people we could listen to? Well, those that are experienced, those who have the heart of God, those who see the pros and cons in all situations. You want to look, if we do this, this could be the result of that. If we don't do that, that could be the result. You're looking at both sides of it. They have diverse gifts. If everyone thinks the same way, you're not going to get a variety of advice that's going to help. You want people, if you're going to get advisors, who are loyal to you. I'm not going to agree with you on everything, but are loyal to you and to your vision. And, you want to get people who like other people. If all you get is people who just want to rip off other people, that's not going to go well with staff or customers and so on. So leaders need to be example, and they need to lead the right way. So let me ask you, who's your inner circle? Are they the right people? Be willing to change if they're not.